Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Pamela. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is highly requested by you guys. You guys wanted to know what my updated everyday makeup routine is. And this is the final look right here. Very wearable for acne prone skin. It's also great for dry skin as well. So if you have either of those, this look might be for you. This is also a little bit more than what I normally wear on an everyday basis. Normally, I either don't wear makeup at all or I just wear a tinted moisturizer and I'm good to go. But today is a little bit more put together. It's a look that I would do a night or day. This is my go-to look almost every single time I wear my makeup. To share with you guys how I got this look, I also use a very small amount of product when I do this whole makeup routine. So you guys will see kind of like how I like to lay all of the products on my skin, which gives me this really flawless, effortless look without covering up all of the beauty underneath. So if you guys are excited to see this video, just make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up so I know to make more of these. And also don't forget to subscribe down below so you don't miss any of my future videos. But without further ado, let's get started. Okay, guys, so before we get started with the makeup, I really like to spend a lot of time prepping my skin before I put makeup on. I just really like to make sure my skin is exfoliated and moisturized so that the makeup actually lays really smooth on your skin and will last way longer as well. So skincare is super important. I obviously make sure I wash my face in the morning, but say if I go all day and I'm about to go out at night and I put makeup on, I'll just tone it and make sure it's super smooth and fresh. And I like using the PCA skin toner. This one's really good for just smoothing out your skin, and it really helps to like exfoliate the top layer of your skin without scrubbing it or anything like that. I'm just gonna take a cotton ball and just add this all over my face. This toner actually helps with breakouts as well. So if you have any acne right now, it will definitely help out with that. Whenever I use toners upwards, it really helps to like get off any dirt or anything like that. And it just really gets into the pores. So we're just gonna do this all over the face. And I'll usually just do this until the cotton ball is dry. And I always make sure that I tone under the eyes as well. And then the rest of it, I'll just go down the neck just a little bit just to make sure everything is all even. And even though I washed my face this morning, the cotton ball is still very dirty. So that's how you guys can tell that this toner is so good. So once the toner is fully dry on your skin, you're gonna go in with some serum. So a while back when I filmed an everyday makeup routine, I always use a water cream as a moisturizer and I love it so much. I feel like it works so well. I kind of go back and forth with what I like to moisturize my skin with. And now I've been loving serums. They actually have so many benefits for your skin, and I just love how it makes my skin look and feel, especially under makeup. So I've been going in with this serum right here. It's the Pyla skincare one. I love it so much. I like it because it has probiotics, and probiotics are really good to help fight all the acne causing bacteria. And so if you do have acne prone skin, or if you have sensitive skin and makeup tends to make you break out or anything like that, or if you're just afraid to wear makeup because you don't want to break out, having a probiotic serum really does help protect your skin, and it develops like a really thin layer of protection where it's fighting the bacteria on your skin, but it's also moisturizing your skin as well. So if you guys haven't tried that tip, I would definitely start doing that and see how it works out for you, especially if you have acne. But since I don't have acne, I like to use almost any type of serum. But I've just been gravitating towards this one because it's honestly making my skin super healthy and very glowy and vibrant. And I also like to take just a little pump and put it under my eyes. This really does help for like creasing or dryness under the eyes. I know for a fact for me, my under eyes do get dry a little bit just because when I set my concealer with powder, it kind of just makes my eyes just feel kind of tight. So I like to always put a little bit under there. And honestly, keeping your under eyes hydrated really does help with like dark circles and stuff like that, just because our skin is very sensitive under our eyes. So we definitely want to take care of it just like we would the rest of our face. But As you guys can see, my skin is so glowy already, and we haven't even put makeup on yet. So when it comes to an everyday makeup routine, I kind of go back and forth with the same OG products I've been using for years. For me, when I find something I like, I really do use it until the wheels fall off. So some of these products are all drugstore because I feel like everyday makeup routines should be wearable enough. It should be cheap enough for you to just pick up at the store really quick. I do like to wear my higher end makeup when I go out at night or on certain occasions, but when it comes to everyday looks, I just like to keep it super simple, super convenient. So I know you guys will appreciate that as well. So sometimes I like to go in with a tinted moisturizer if I'm outside during the day, especially since it has SPF. But today I kind of want to go in with a little bit more coverage, and it's also good to wear at night as well. So you guys can use it for both. So if you guys have been following me for a while, you already know that I love to put some type of like highlight underneath my makeup because it really makes your skin look super healthy and radiant. So I've been going back and forth with different liquid highlighters, but I'm going to use this one today. It's the Strobe Cream by MAC. This is an OG product. I used it like a long time ago, but I haven't used it ever since. So I'm just going to add just a little bit on my skin, and I usually just like to focus on the high points and then I'll rub the rest all over. I also like to put this under the eyes just so that it can reflect any light from our under eyes, so we don't have to put too much concealer on. But once again, we're using a little bit of product because a little bit goes a long way, you guys. You can also try to press it into your skin as well, so it really melts into your skin instead of sits on top. That's why I like to do my makeup a certain way when it comes down to everyday looks, because I really do love like the natural beat where you kind of just want to enhance your features. You don't want to cover them all the way. I really enjoy like natural looks all the time. I like to go in with brows first. I know a lot of people think that's so backwards, but I just love going in with brows first, only because I like my brows to look as natural as possible. So I feel like when you put any foundation or anything on first and then you go in with brow products, it kind of looks kind of chalky. It also looks pretty dry around that area, so I don't really like doing it that way. So now that we have our skin fully prepped and ready to go and we are looking very glowy, I'm gonna bring you guys in really quick. So I'm just going in with the NYX brow pencil. This is the micro pencil. I really love it because it's super precise. Basically, I just brush my hairs up so that I can see where all the sparse areas are, and then I'll brush it outwards because I've been loving like a straight lifted look. So I usually just start off by creating like a little border along the bottom of my brow. Can't really talk. I can't really talk when I do my brows. I'm just going to feather this through the sparse areas from the line that I'm drawing on the bottom, as you guys can see. Kind of like brushing through the brows almost, because this makes it look super natural. And that's pretty much it. I kind of leave the front a little bit open just because I really don't like dark brows. I really don't. I just like to make sure my brows look filled in, but I don't like them to look dark. So I'll just take the spoolie and just brush it upwards. And then I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side. So this side, I really like to just fill in the sparse area first. And sometimes like, I'll just fill in that and be good to go. Like I don't need to do anything else. But since we're gonna do a little bit more makeup today, I'm gonna have it match the other side. And when I brush them out, I barely even touch. So now I like to go in and set the brows. I like to brush them upwards and then just set it with the clear gel. So this one's just by e.l.f. I like it because it doesn't make your eyebrows crunchy. A very, very lightweight brow gel. For concealer, I just like using this really small flat brush, and I like to use a concealer that kind of blends into the skin. So when I mean blend into the skin, I don't mean the color, I mean how the product sits on the skin. You guys heard me talk about this in so many of my foundation reviews, but how products sit on my skin literally makes all the difference in the world. So I like using this concealer. I've been using it for years. It's the Born This Way, and I just like to use a very small hint of this. And instead of carving my brows all the way out, I'll kind of just draw a line right under. I feel like when the concealer is too close to your brow hairs, it kind of clings on to your brow instead of blending into your skin. And I'll just keep blending it under the brow until you can barely even see it, but it also still looks put together. See, it looks like my skin still. It just looks a little bit more cleaner under there. Do the same thing on this side. I always start in with the inner corner so that I can match both brows together. Because the last thing you want to do is make one brow skinnier than the other. Like, makeup is literally all about the placement. It's not about how much you use or what you use. It's literally where you place it on your face. So yeah, I'm just going to blend this down a little bit more. And it's very subtle, very natural. I think I want to fix this brow a little bit because it looks just a little bit too arched. Yeah. So if you do, like for me, I don't like having an arch really, so I just fill it in. And I don't really have a tail, you guys, but I don't really like to draw it too much because I don't really like altering my face, if that makes sense. Okay, so for this next step, I like to go in with the face, and it just depends where I'm going or what I'm gonna do that day. So if I'm going for something like super lightweight, I'll obviously use like a tinted moisturizer and be good to go. But since today we're gonna do a little bit more coverage, I like to do concealer first just so that I don't have to use as much foundation, because I really do like the light medium coverage now since my skin is amazing. So I'm gonna go in with the same concealer we used for the brows and just go in with the eyes. And for this, I'm not gonna bring it all the way up. I'm just gonna put a dot in the center and a dot on the edge. Since we're placing this under the foundation, your skin is gonna look amazing, let me tell you. But you're also getting a lot of coverage. So that's one of my secrets. So I love like doing it around the mouth area just to kind of contour your lips. Do a little bit on the dark spots that I have, but I really don't care if they show because they're honestly doing so good now. And then I like to take a concealer beauty blender. So this is by e.l.f. as well. You guys, I'll have everything linked down below, but this is by e.l.f. I love it so much because it's so precise, but it's also very, very soft like the beauty blender. So I love it for contouring. I love it just to blend out little tiny areas. So I like to just use this a little bit damp, but you don't have to because it also works really well dry. And I'll just go in and just make sure everything is laying on my skin very, very well. So as you guys can see, just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of concealer did so much already. And now we have the perfect base for actually putting the makeup on our face so that we don't have to put too much product. And that's the goal I have every single time I put on any type of makeup. I always want to use as little as possible. I hate caking my face. I hate when there's too many products on my face. I hate the feeling of it. So I always try to find ways to get a really nice makeup look without using too many products. So you guys can see how good this looks already. Like, I'm fine with this. I could be good to go with this, but since for the sake of this video, I will be doing a full face. Now for foundation. So this foundation I've been using for years now, and I've been loving it ever since I reviewed it in one of my videos back in the day. So don't judge me that I'm still using this. When I love something, I can't stop using it. So I'm using the Born to Glow by NYX. This is just so freaking good, you guys. This will make your skin look like your skin, but better. But it's also a good coverage. Like, it's not super lightweight like a moisturizer would be, but it just does something to the skin that I can't explain. But you guys have probably tried this already. I'm just an addict. You guys know I love using the Sephora brush, the 70 brush. It's amazing. I'll link it down below for you guys. So all I'm gonna do is just dot this on my dark spots. I like to concentrate all the products on the areas I just want to cover first, and then I'll blend everything out to the rest of the face. And for this, I just like to use a patting motion with this brush because it really does give you a lot of coverage since it is so dense, but it also gives you that airbrushed look when you don't rub it all the way into the skin, if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys can see how good that looks. And it's like my perfect shade right now because I am pretty pale. As you guys can see, wow, my skin looks so amazing, and this looks so good up close. It looks literally like my skin. Like even the color, it looks really, really good. So now I'm gonna just blend in the other side. I feel like my makeup routine is very, very different from a lot of people's makeup routines. So I hope you guys are learning something from this video. And then I just like to take the smallest amount and just put it on my forehead. This is just to basically blend everything together. I really like this too because if you have dry skin, it really smooths out all the dryness. And it just brings life to my skin. I feel like every time I use this, everyone always asks me what makeup I'm wearing. It's crazy how good of a look you can get with drugstore products. Just blend a little bit on your neck so that everything blends together. You look so glowy, so healthy, very radiant. The color I used for this is Classic Tan. So if you guys are kind of like close to my skin tone, that's what I'm using. In the summertime, I like to use golden, or you can mix both, and it's very, very beautiful. So for the cream contour, I'm just gonna go in with the Instant Age Rewind. I haven't used this yet. I just been using a different cream contour, but I wanted to try this one for this video. So the best way I like to cream contour is actually use a angled brush and dip my brush into it. So it's like this. I'll tap off the excess as well just to make sure it's not too much. And I just lightly feather it. So I like to work very, very high up on my face so that it lifts my face. And then I'll work it just halfway down my cheek. I don't like going all the way forward because I just feel like it brings down your face. It kind of drags it down. And you just kind of want it just to have that little contour so your face looks chiseled from the side. So for this, I'll work it on the top of my ear and blend it upwards to the top of my cheekbone. And I'll keep it only in the back. And I kind of just go back and forth in the dabbing motion to make it darker. So now I'll just use the excess of what's left over and I'll kind of just bronze up the forehead. And for this, I just start at the hairline at the top and I'll go on the side and kind of connect it to the contour we were just doing. So I love doing this because it kind of just makes your makeup look super blended. And when you blend out your highlight, it'll kind of blend into all of this. So I don't know why it's so hard for me to explain how I do things. So you basically, the goal to this is not having any lines that end on your face. So obviously, like, you don't want to see any harsh areas, but you want it to just look like your skin is just like this. Like, you don't want to look like you have a start to finish to any parts of your makeup, if that makes sense. And then I'll take some more of the excess and put it on the bottom if I'm feeling fancy, but just like that. I found that's the easiest way to do contour, in my opinion, for sure. So now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of concealer. So I have seen this on TikTok. This girl had such amazing under eyes with this. And it's the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. And I got it in the color Golden Amber. So this has been amazing. I've tried it actually a few times since I found out about this. But All I like to do is mainly just do it under my eyes and a little bit on my nose, and that's about it. So I'll just go in and do a little triangle. So this concealer here is just really meant to bring the look together. So I know we added some concealer earlier, but that was more to kind of cover what we had going on. So this is just to enhance everything and bring some brightness. And for me, I don't really like the super bright look. So I kind of stick to tones that look like my skin tone, or like maybe a shade lighter than my skin tone. But I'll just use this on the inner corner, and then I'll have this come out a little bit more so that we can have that lifting look. So while this dries, I'm actually going to go in with a little blending brush and do the same thing but on my eyes. So I just like to follow the lifting effect on my eyes and just kind of just contour my eyes a little bit. But I'm just using this as like a crease because I don't really feel like I have a crease really. And then I'll just blend it into the inner corner to like blend it out. Do the same thing on the other side. But for me, I do love the bronzy orangey look in my crease, so I think all my looks look the same, guys. Like, I really don't have different makeup. I don't know if you guys have seen all of my other makeup videos, but my makeup literally looks the same for years. Okay, so we just wanted to warm it up a little bit. We didn't need to do too much. And I feel like the cream just really blends so easily. We're just gonna take the concealer beauty blender and really just blend out everything into the contour. We're just gonna blend everything in an angle so that everything just looks a little lifted. And it's really important to, like for me, I feel like it's really important to have this area right here really concealed because that's the area that looks the smoothest on your face, especially if you take pictures or if anyone sees you in person. Like, that is the area that really pops on people. I don't know why, but we're just gonna put a little extra there and just blend that out. And this concealer actually dries down pretty fast, so make sure you work pretty fast. So I don't know if you guys can see like how good that conceals your under eyes, but I love it so much and it still looks very natural, especially in person. So now we're just gonna set that because we don't want any creasing or anything like that. So for this, I like using the e.l.f. Halo Glow because it's a moisturizing powder. It's not gonna make you feel super dry under your eyes. It's also like flash resistant as well, so you're not gonna get flashback or anything like that. And it's just a natural look. Like, you're gonna feel very filtered, but it's not gonna look like you have powder under your eyes, if that makes sense. So I like going in with 2 powders, and this is the first one I'm using. So this one is just the color medium. I feel like it works really, really well. So I'm just going to tap out the under eyes and just add some of this. And I like to blend it. Like, once I put it under the eye, I like to just keep blending it until it's like all the way into the skin. Very nice. You guys can see that? Same thing for the other side. I feel like all these products are e.l.f. products. So that's what we're working with right now, and I feel like it looks very fresh. I love it so much. But the next powder is the one that makes your skin look so freaking smooth. So I like using the Fit Me, Maybelline Fit Me. I've been using this for years as well. I like this because it makes my skin look so freaking smooth, but it does have like a pink undertone, so I don't really like using that under the eyes. And I feel like it kind of can crease it just a little bit compared to the e.l.f. one. So I'm just gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna put it more lower on my face. So I'm gonna put it kind of like where we concealed earlier. It's really gonna make you look very, very smooth. And then you wanna kind of bring it around the nose if you can. So this is like the key to my makeup almost every single time I go out. I don't really do this too much in the daytime, but I do wanna give you guys options as far as like how good you can look without using so much makeup, you know? Yeah, we're using a few different products, but since we use a small amount of each product, it's gonna lay so nicely on your skin. And you guys are gonna see why I do my makeup like this, because it's honestly also helped my skin as far as having acne. And I just learned how to use my makeup more effectively. So we're just gonna let that sit for 1 minute and then dust it off. So I'm just gonna dust it really quick because I don't want to look super cakey. But this powder really like just ties everything together. I used to wear this to work all the time, and every time I took pictures it looked amazing. So we're looking like. So the blush I've been using in my last video was the CoverGirl one. It's the classic pink color. I just picked this up when I picked up the concealer because I just forgot like how good this was, and I just love like the natural look it gives. I've also been using this, which is the Milani Baked Powder Blush, and I mix them together and it's the perfect color. So I'm just gonna go in with a smaller brush because I like this to be super precise on my face. I don't like to put it all over. And I just want it to enhance my features and not like bring anything down. So I like using this contour brush by Real Techniques, and I like it because it's a little smaller, so it's really easy to like place your product without putting it everywhere. And I always tap it off after I dip it. I don't like to put too much, and I'll just place it on top of the contour shade that we put below. And for me, I love when my contour is super subtle, so I'm not gonna set it at all. I'm just gonna use this blush to kind of set it. Once it's placed, I kind of just blend it up and down in that area. And it's only gonna like make you look more alive, like as far as, you know, having more color in your face. But it's also gonna be such a natural blush look that it's really gonna look like you're really blushing in real life. Love this combination, you guys. I don't know like how I just figured this out, but I love it so much. And I like to get it underneath the corner of my eye. So I don't know why, I just love it right there. It just makes me look so like so lifted. I just love it. But I'll take a little bit and I'll just put it right under the eye, like right where we did the contour and powder, in that area, and then just blend it upwards right under the eye. Like, see how that looks? I don't know why I love it like this, but I love it only because you can't see the concealer that we put under the eye. Everything just looks so seamless and so like everything looks like it's one with your skin. And when I put it there, it just really looks like I'm glowing from within. And putting it under the eye just helps to lift everything without having to try. Like it's, I don't know how to explain this. But you guys can kind of see like what I'm talking about. And I love makeup because obviously you can do it any way you want and how you feel most confident. So there's not like a right way to do this, but I've been loving like trying out different techniques, but this is the only one that obviously, because it's my own technique, that I love so much. I also like adding blush at the top of my eyebrow. And this just brings color into your face without looking muddy, without putting on too much contour. And it just brings out a glow to your skin. So I don't know if you guys can see what that did, but it did a lot. When it comes down to my everyday look, I don't always contour my nose. Contouring my nose is something that I'm trying to get used to. I'm trying to learn the right way for me to do it, but I love doing it for days where I'm gonna take pictures or days when I'm gonna create content, obviously. But for my everyday look, I really don't contour my nose at all. I kind of just love doing less is more, like very minimal, very just put together and classy. Next, I just like to define the eyes just a little bit more, especially if I'm gonna go out or anything like that. So I kind of want to show you guys what I would do if I were to like go out for the night. And it's only one step, you guys. There's only one thing that I do. So all I like to do is pretty much take a flat brush and I just take the brown. This is like a little cute Milani palette I got from Walgreens. I'll just take a little bit and just put it right where my lash line is and just put it all over the lid. So I just like doing this to define my eyes. I don't really like spend too much time on eyeshadow at all, but this is a way for me to look done up without spending too much time on it, if that makes sense. So I'll do like 2 layers of the brown and just really make sure everything is all even. And you don't have to worry about the top being messy because we're going to blend that out. Since my lashes are like super full, I just don't feel like there's a point in doing my eyeshadow really. So that's why I just like doing this, because I always have lashes on. And this kind of just makes me look, you know, more glam than normal. And I feel like it really does bring out my eyes a lot. So now we have it like this. And since we have that little contour shade on the top, it looks like we blended it already. But I'm actually going to take this eyeshadow in here and just blend out the edge of that brown that we put in there. And for this, you can also blend it all the way up to the brow, and it's gonna give you a more blended look. Same thing on the other side, just blend it until you really can't see where it ends. And then just blend that contour we put in earlier and all the way up to your brow. I love blending the crease all the way up to the brow just because it just makes it look very soft and elegant. And I just love like having your eyes defined without really like noticing where your makeup starts. If that makes sense. Obviously, that was like the theme of this whole look. I don't really like to put anything on the bottom lash line. I kind of just like to keep it clean. But if I'm going out or anything like that, I'll just do a little bit on the outer edge right here. So I'll do probably like the same brown and just kind of just line it so that it connects with the top, but it kind of just blends out. And we are going to keep the inner corner just open so we look very, very clean on the under eyes. It's not doing too much. This look can be done in the daytime as well, and I feel like since it's kind of easy, it won't take you too long to do it, and you'll look really good, girl. Let me tell you. Sometimes I like to take that line from the bottom and like drag it up just a little, so that you do have a lifting effect on the outer edge. Now for the lips, I'm gonna go in and kind of define my lips. So usually I just like using this gloss by Fenty. This is the Heat Gloss. I love it so much because it's like a clear pink, but it also plumps your lips. And I'll show you guys what it looks like. This is my everyday gloss during the day. I do wear this at night too, so but I just love this look. This is like my classic look. So if I want to do something a little extra and I want something to define my lips a little bit, I'll just line it with some lip liner. So this is by ColourPop. This is the Lippy Pencil. I feel like these are so easy to use as well. So I'm just gonna line the Cupid's bow, and this is kind of like a mauve nude. Very soft and subtle. I don't really overline my lips either, so guys, my contacts are literally so blurry right now. And then I love to put gloss. Like, gloss is my shit. I don't like lipstick or anything like that. I hate it actually. So I love wearing gloss. Like, every time you see me, gloss. Okay, so this is the e.l.f. plumping lip plumping gloss. I like it just because it matches this lip liner. I love it though. It matches everything, first of all, and I feel like this complements my skin tone a lot because I don't really like nude lipsticks or lip combos, but this is like the closest I'll get to wearing a nude. Final step of this makeup look, I just like to put some, you know, some highlight in the inner corner. I feel like it makes my eyes pop. So I'm just taking a little of the strobe cream. Give me that pop in the middle. Okay, so, ooh, it got dark in here. Okay, so now I'm gonna take some setting spray. This is also by ColourPop. Love it so much. It's like the hyaluronic acid one. And then obviously if you need a little bit more coverage, you feel like you're a little bit oily, or you just want to make your makeup last a little longer, I like to take a fluffy brush and some Bare Minerals foundation powder. And I just really like to tap this on the areas that we didn't already set. I like to do this after setting spray because I feel like it really clings onto the skin and it just makes it look very hydrated and gives it the coverage. So this is also a matte powder, so it'll be good for oil and stuff like that. Like that. So I just wanted to show you guys what this makeup look looks like up close in natural lighting. As you guys can see, it looks very, very soft, very, very blended. It doesn't look cakey at all. You don't look dried out, and I just love this makeup look. I usually wear this on days when I'm obviously filming or if I'm going out or anything like that, but other than that, on a daily basis, I really just wear tinted moisturizer and do my brows and put some gloss and I'm good to go. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit more than that in this video. But if you guys try out this makeup look, let me know down below in the comments. But make sure you guys are subscribed down below if you're new to the channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. I love you guys. Bye!